not storage units, it's office, I think, 3 floors. Yeah, 3 floors.
Lots of things to remember.
They got the rendition in the parking lot.
Trees, my sustainability daughter would not be.
So like,
No.
somebody was telling me after Peoria Flag, somebody put in there, and that's on the bus route too. So, I don't know. I'm a little.
Let's see. Well, who's gonna be here this time? So if we're going with that one more time.
They act like they don't, but they do.
So this is. These are like the life size plans.
Yeah. Okay, so you still got that then.
Then we need,
Need one of the big ones, right?
yeah.
That was our address,
Oh, we got everybody tonight. There you go. You need one of those. I'm right here. But we're kind of throwing stuff around here. I got another one coming for you too, Charlie.
Yes, they did. You want to go to the other it is?
Here's this one.
Like wallpaper for mud. You want to hear another funny thing?
Yeah. You only one of those then, right?
State Senate. Had 50 on it.
And then this is for you too, John.
This is
One of those.
lady, if I ever seen her now, first time I got to call everybody.
Okay, Rick, you got both of them?
I got both.
Okay.
So we put some narcotic in.
How we doing?
Hi, Charlie.
Yeah, did you see me?
Funny to look at.
Man, I missed that. How did I get that?
Whatever you do, don't take your microphone. Not as bad as
Hello. My dog.
How are we tonight?
Is that me?
Nepotism.
Got the boots built for the slush and snow? Pardon? You didn't miss much. We went 2 times about the Londo sign again. They were and we were showed up a little bit. So last time Rick called and he said, "Yeah, I didn't realize you should have been there 20 minutes ago." It's the second meeting. No, they missed 2 in a row. And then the one before we didn't have. And that was for them too. But they started digging holes, and so we'll have a, yeah, so they'll have a building up here. I didn't think they would be starting in December, but I think they might be getting a break weather-wise. It seems like it's gonna warm up a little bit. This is a new remodel or redone on Prospect there. That's number 2 today. Number 1, big plan.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order.
Maybe. I can't think of any other place to actually put it together.
Right.
Damn it.
Sorry, bear with me a sec. Yes. That's the first one.
That's for sure. Gotcha.
Okay, call the roll. Rick Pitzel, here. Charlie Kellaway. Here. JT Kellogg.
Here.
Mike Wu.
Yep.
Floyd Wambacher is not here. Mick O'Neill.
Here.
Tanisha Kaysen. Here. Steve Cady.
Here.
Jack Wiedemann.
Here.
Okay, the first order of business is to approve the minutes from the August 18th and September 15th. We'll do the August 18th first. Everybody has a copy of those. Anybody have any changes or additions? Not, a motion would be in order to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved by Mick O'Neill, seconded by JT Kellogg. For the August 18th minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. And then the minutes from September 15th. Again, if no additions or changes, need a motion to approve those. Who's it? Oh, Mike Wu moved to approve.
I'll second.
And second by Mick O'Neill. Okay, any other discussion on those? Any changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So that takes care of the general business. Before we start, are there any general comments from the audience on anything? Okay. Audience comments will be closed until each of the presenters. The first order of business is variance application filed by Washington Trails Edge LLC seeking a variance to increase the allowable square footage for an on-premise sign to permit an on-premise sign of 222 square feet at the property located at 716 East Memorial Drive, Peoria Heights, which is currently zone B2. So, you guys here? Come up. I think everybody has a pretty good idea on this sign because we've studied it a couple months now.
Been here before, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the question would be, does anybody have any questions on the sign? Do we want?
I can't know, but if you want to explain, what did you do from the first sign that we turned down to this sign?
We reduced the War Memorial facing sign by a little less than 100 square feet. So it's a lot smaller. We also raised it higher based on, those are the two primary comments that we received from. our last request.
I just want to throw in something that I brought up here when you guys weren't here, but the time you were before, I said that there are some guidelines on the lettering sizes and such that you need. And I came out that you need about a 24-inch sign for what you guys are doing, which is what you've got now. So this reduction fit right into what we're looking for.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and so the square footage is, yeah, it was reduced, their first time around, I think they were asking for 200 and, to look at this here real quick.
I thought I remember it was 303.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time around, they were like 100 and some, sorry. 303, yeah, so they were like 160 some square feet over the limit, and they're now down to being 100 and, just about 100 over the limit, so. Any other questions on the sign, comments? And is the material going to be the same as what you discussed the first time
Yeah.
around? Okay. Because I know some of the village board members that were here had concerns about how shiny that was going to be. Some of those tiles were very glass-like, right?
No, we didn't change the color. We just we're selecting the matte.
The matte
It got
type finish.
smaller because the sign's getting smaller, because it's
Yeah.
it's an accent wall behind the sign. So everything is getting,
Gonna be smaller?
no, just the area that, just,
Yep. So that blue color was gonna be really shiny. You're gonna go with more of a matte blue than a,
If they offer it,
Okay.
the blue tile is what we reduced. And even on the picture since then, we've put 2 rows of white tile below it.
okay.
So,
And it's higher than it was
Yeah.
before, so, okay. Any other question? Okay, we need to go through, okay, you can have a seat for a minute, and, are there any, public comments, regarding the sign? Okay, public comments on the sign will be closed. Okay, we'll go through the findings of fact and determination. Will the strict application of the terms of the zoning code related to the use, construction, or alteration of buildings or structures or use to the land impose practical difficulties or particular hardship upon the petitioner? J.T. Kellogg.
Yes.
Jack Weedman.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Callaway.
Yes.
Steve Cady. Mike Wu.
yes.
Tanisha Kason. Okay, well, if the variation is granted, the property affected by the variation will remain in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning code. J.T. Kellogg,
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mick O'Neill,
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Callaway, Steve Cady,
Yes.
Mike Wu,
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. The approval of variation will not merely serve as a convenience to the petitioner, but is necessary to alleviate some demonstrable hardship on the petitioner. J.T. Kellogg.
Can you repeat the question?
The approval of the variation will not merely serve as a convenience to the petitioner, but is necessary to alleviate some Jack Wiedemann.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Callaway. Steve Cady.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. Can the variation requested by the petitioner be granted without substantial detriment to the public good? J.T. Kellogg?
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Tanisha Kason? Can the proposed variation be approved without impairing the general purpose and intent of the comprehensive plan as implemented by the zoning code? J.T. Kellogg?
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Tanisha Kason? And it's not a fence. So then, if that, a motion to approve the requested variance and second is made by,
I'll move.
I'll second.
okay, Mick O'Neill, seconded by J.T. Kellogg. Any conditions? Okay. I'll call the roll. J.T. Kellogg,
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mick O'Neill,
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Calloway,
Yes.
Steve Katie,
Yes.
Mike Wu,
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. Good. Okay, so you should be able to get your sign permit from the village. It'll probably be tomorrow or the next day. You can go up, you can call Sarah or email her and she can get it to you. Good? Okay,
By the way, when are you guys opening? I see the heavy equipment out there.
Yeah, we're hoping to start with the foundation. It's gonna warm up here this week and into the next. So we'll get the foundation in and, underground utilities. And, we could potentially be open by June.
Well, good luck.
Good.
I did have one other question. I was asked by the the assessor's office in here. Have you turned in your new plat to be,
I checked on that today, and it's most likely gonna be done tomorrow. And
Okay.
report it, and we're gonna report it as soon as we're gonna report it as soon, does it have to go to here for approval, or can we just?
I thought that they had to sign off on the new plat and then you have to take it to the courthouse.
Yeah. I just didn't know if we needed to go through a round of review, or if it's,
No, it's not I mean, basically the administrator has to sign off on it
yeah.
and then it has to go to the courthouse and then it has to be recorded. The reason they were asking me is they said they haven't seen it gone through and they haven't seen anything with it. So the tax bills might be all messed up if you don't get it done by the end of the year.
Okay, we'll have that done before the meeting.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the next variance application was filed by Dan Weibel, Designer Builder LLC, seeking a variance for to construct a detached garage within 6 feet of the property line, but outside the front building setback requirement of 25 feet per section 10, 7A5 at the property located at 5128 Prospect Road, Peoria Heights, which is currently zoned R1, low density residential. And we have a sheet at the very back of your packet, probably from the owners of the property, giving Dan Weibel the okay to go to request the variance on behalf of them. So who do we have here from that group? Yep. You want to step up to the podium and give us your name and kind of explain to us what you're trying to do?
Yes, so my name is Will Weibel. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to come before you and kind of tell you just an exciting project that we have. Thankful for the homeowners who have made a great investment in saving one of our neatest residential historic houses we have here in the Heights. And in doing so, the existing garage is from that time period just are not functional for today's size cars, right? And so we are looking to create a detached garage with adequate sizing in order to create functional garage space. And so in order to do that architecturally, we believe that we want to keep the existing garages in place, keeping that existing architecture true, and coming alongside that, which we think would be more fitting to that style and time period with a detached garage. And that being typically up front or off to the side, typically it's similar to side setbacks is what we've seen historically, matching that 6 foot on the front. So, and then also we're creating, with the architecture, matching details from the existing house with this detached garage. So stone, slate, is what we're proposing on doing. So just super excited, thankful that these homeowners have saved this house and willing to invest in the community and in this house. And so, that's our intention and our goal. Any questions, I'd be happy to talk through the design or process.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
The existing garage, the plan is you're coming off the back. What are you gonna do with the current garage? Are you gonna convert that into a room or a gym or?
Yes, so part of it, we're hoping to convert into a mudroom, and then the other part use as some type of garage storage space.
But you're not gonna be coming in as it currently is?
We want to keep the aesthetics of that it is a functional garage, so the garage doors will stay
Okay.
intact. So again, we're hoping to protect the architecture that's there, so not looking to change it, but interior-wise, we're changing the function of
Right,
it.
but, so then looking at your plan, you're looking to put an additional garage, a separate outbuilding garage, so you're looking at a 6-car garage.
So it would be functionally four functional cars. And the garage addition at the back it's a concept. We're still working through that from a design perspective. But I wanted to give you the big picture goal of this may be done in phases. It may all be done at once, but this is the goal. And architecturally, we think that with the massing of the detached garage being in the front, we can achieve this the best.
And then the detached garage, will there be a living space above it?
There will not. There may be some attic storage space, but
It's not gonna be an apartment you're
no.
renting or Airbnb?
No, nope.
So,
But still, you're looking at it now from the plan I see, so the existing 2-car garage, you're filling in one of those spaces, so you're gonna end up with a total of 5 potential parking spaces. One, you might have to have a compact car, but
Correct.
do you require 5 potential parking spaces?
Am I required? Are we
Do
required?
they-
To me, whether they use it for that or not, I doubt that it's actually functional. The opening itself it's barely 7 feet. So it's very impractical to actually park a vehicle in there. We may even take that 5th area for mudroom or storage space, but again, I would say it's more just garage space, lawn care, things like
Okay.
that.
Rick, maybe.
so I was confused by something you said there. So you have the original garage, and then to the west of the original garage, you show another 2-car garage that's going to be attached. Is that not being built right away, you're saying, or it is?
That is a concept we are proposing right now, and yes, it may get built simultaneously with the detached garage, yes.
But you're guaranteeing the detached garage and thinking about the other garage.
Yes, yep.
Well, why not, is that vice versa? Because you wouldn't even need a variance for the other garage.
Well, we're at the design, phases, so we're seeing what the potential would be. So that's why we're here today, hoping that this would be our goal to get this detached garage, and then also have the flexibility of, yes, adding more space, along the side. This is a very unique property, and to accommodate someone that can come and save this property that in my opinion, it needs severe help. And to me, I'm so thankful that these guys are willing to come in and make this investment in saving this. And to accommodate what's needed from a functionality and livability with today's standards.
What I'm
It's-
saying is you can accommodate it by having the attached garage.
You can get 2 stalls attached, yes.
Right. But you're saying
Two
you're not even sure
functional.
you're gonna build that, so you don't need more than 2 if you're not even gonna build that.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, sorry if I'm not being clear, to me, with what we see with someone with wanting a house like this is 2 stalls are not adequate, 2 functionally garage stalls are not adequate for a house like this. And so that's why, yes, we're hoping for more.
Is there a reason you don't make it a double deep garage?
Architecturally, I don't think the massing would work. I think the massing would overpower the existing architecture so much, I don't think it would look great.
Rick, pardon my ignorance, but I went and looked at the property.
Yeah?
The side on the, I guess that's the west side next
Right.
to the front, like, where the stakes are, that's not the issue. The issue is up front, right?
Correct. It's because they want to get, we've got the 25-foot setback in the front, and they want to be, 6 feet back from there.
Right.
If you talk to the neighbors,
Yes.
do they?
They're thrilled with just the overall project in
They're
general.
not here, so I'm assuming they're supportive.
Yes, they're very supportive, yes, very thankful.
Yeah, that's exactly true, JT. But I was under the impression, when I went out and looked, and they have it staked out, and when we got the plans, is they're building 2 garages.
Right.
But now he's saying they may not even build the attached garage,
Right. I completely
which,
agree.
well,
Yeah.
then you don't need a variance because you could just build the attached garage.
And-
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be misleading that. Our intent is to build the attached garages. We're not starting construction, we don't have all those details ironed out completely, so, with the attached garage. So, I'm just giving you all the information. I'm not trying to, and that was our goal of showing you the big picture of the whole property and not showing any of it, showing you an existing situation and just the detached. We wanted to be more transparent and show you the full possibility of it all. So you didn't see it go on later on and be like, well, Will, why didn't you talk to us about this? So that was our intent. It was to be transparent.
Okay?
I'm familiar with your company's work. You guys will do a very nice job with an old house like that, so,
I will say
I'm
one thing,
confident in that.
it's
you know?
Thank you.
it's a gorgeous house. I worked as a painting apprentice when I was 18 years old, and I do believe I did the powder room on the entrance. And if you check it, it might be straight, but my boss was nervous, like turning me loose with it. I can tell you that right now. But I do remember doing a lot of the interior on that. It is a beautiful home. It certainly is. And for a change, we're not knocking anything down, putting anything ultra-modern in. That has been on that corner for, what, it probably went up in the 20s, right?
Yeah, in the 30s, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of past owners that have never had addressed real problems, and it's just, right, it takes someone to really make an investment into saving it long-term, and so that's what I'm excited about today, yeah.
Yep. Great.
So are there elevations in there? Are there elevations in this?
I believe so.
Oh, I think I have them, sorry.
Yeah, they're gonna, the first page is.
So the,
There we go.
So the top of the, trying to get like how tall this is actually going to be.
Yeah, so the median gable is 16 feet, roughly. And then it's 21 feet to the ridge, the highest point. And then it's specifically designed with mimicking the architecture that's there right now. So you can see a lot of the Tudor-style elements and the timbers and the stone mimic what's on the existing garage right now. And as it approaches the main street, it steps down in height and scale. And so the idea is to soften it to the main street from a sizability standpoint. And again, mimicking the existing garage doors. Again, the goal is to make this look like it's always been there, right? And so,
Okay, so I guess I hadn't looked at that height before, but the accessory building height is 17 feet? Is the code
to the median gable,
17 feet in height? So that the
Yes.
21 you talked about can only be 17?
yeah, and sometimes and again, it's either to the median gable, which would be the midpoint of the gable, or to the overall height,
The overall height?
yes. So we're at 21 feet to the overall height,
Right, and I said the code is 17.
yes.
So are you asking for a variance for the height too?
I'm asking for this exact design, yes, as submitted today.
Okay, because that wasn't part of the application, talked about the setbacks, didn't talk about the garage height. So that's new to us.
Okay.
Well, any other questions on this?
What's the total height of the current garage?
The existing garage, it's a lot taller, and so it's a great question and point, if I may. That's what's ultimately gonna drive the height of this, is matching the roof pitches of the existing architecture onto this detached garage is gonna drive the height to be what it is. And so that's exactly what we're doing. We're matching basically the stained height, the roof pitch of the existing garage, and bringing it forward, and then softening it with some other elements to try and tone it down from a height standpoint.
So it's not going to be the same height?
It's not, the ridge height is gonna be a little bit shorter, but it's the same architecture. Because we're manipulating the gable ends a little bit differently. So, for example, the gable end on the existing garage, it goes front to back, so it's a lot wider. So this isn't as wide, but we're using the same gable detail, so it's just gonna be a few feet shorter, if that makes sense. You can kind of get a feel for it with the rendering on the front, how the two front gables on the existing porch and then the detached match. But the front detached garage gable end is narrower, so thus it drives the overall height down in that very front rendering.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay, well, we'll have to do two findings of facts, because we'll have two variances.
Can we have the discussion first?
Yeah.
Because I'm just, I know you guys do very good work, and it looks good, but it's still, there's a reason we have the setbacks.
Sure.
And everything, and, I'd like another garage on my property to put my boat in, but it doesn't fit on anything on my property, and that's the situation we've got right here. You're saying that, yes, in the long term, you're looking for parking spots for 5 vehicles. That'd be nice to have 2, but there's a reason we have these codes, and I personally don't see this as overruling reason to allow you a variance, but that's what I'd say why I'd be voting against it.
Yeah, part of me is the closest to the front property line and how close that is to Prospect. And here we end up with you look down the street, there's a gatehouse, way down here that somebody built, and it's very small compared to this garage. But other than that, there's not another thing on Prospect in the Heights that's, anywhere near 25 feet to the front property line.
Sorry.
I know you sent some pictures of some other things. Most of those were in Peoria. There was only one of those that was in Peoria Heights, which was on Miller, I think. The other ones down on Granby Drive aren't even in Peoria Heights. So, and I get it. Well, somebody else on another street, is closer to their front, but, you look down Miller, there are other buildings. There's 2 buildings on Miller that are closer. One's been there since probably the 40s, maybe. So, that one is grandfathered in the first place because the zoning code didn't start until 1975. So, but I just, when I look at the property, it looks, I love the side garage. That to me looks like it fits, but this almost looks like it's got another house on the front of the property to me. So that's just my opinion. Any other discussion or questions? Okay. We will take the, is there any other comments from the audience? Anybody on this one?
Are we done with open discussion?
Go ahead. That's why I'm asking.
No, I'm just, we're talking about the setback going from 25 to 6 and the height going from 17 to 20.
Yep.
Are we gonna take separate votes on those?
Separate votes.
Okay.
So we'll have to do a finding of fact for each variance.
Rick, what was the second one?
The height. So the height of the accessory building is 17 feet, and they're gonna be at 21 feet.
Was that noticed?
No.
I thought you had mentioned we shouldn't even be touching it if it wasn't noticed.
Yeah, it was not noticed because it was not part of the application. It was just, the application was,
Okay, so yeah, we can't touch that.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's going to, we had an informal discussion, but I don't think we can take.
looking for I just had it in my hand.
Is there room on the other side of the house to do a similar, attached?
There's not with the topography that's there. And, yeah, we provided dimensions, but we should have made it more clear on the variance application, on the elevations.
I for one, I think it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but we're really close to the road and we're higher. So it's just 2 feet.
Okay, can somebody hand me their packet of stuff with this? I don't know what happened to it. I just had it in my hand and I don't know. Yes.
Can I ask you another question? What about coming, you know, you could build a garage, the attached garage, but what about bumping out, like where the current garage kind of comes out? I mean, I don't know if that would be cost prohibitive, like coming out your extra space or two, so that it's attached to the house, and you have your kind of little courtyard over there for your cars.
Yeah.
Is that something that was considered?
Yes, it was, and I think they fell in love with the iconic look of the existing, and you know, there's so much history and stories and old pictures, and I think the value of trying to not touch that, right, and keep that as, and also in the rendering, I don't know if you can see, but there's some plans for some trees and some landscaping to kind of soften the overall property. Right now, you don't see that, and you know, I don't know if you can see on the rendering too, and you've driven by, but there's that, you know, 100-year-old stone wall that's been there, and this is within that, you know, behind that portion. And again, I'm probably talking way too much, but I think this look would look, again, like it's always been there.
What's the distance between Prospect Road and the brick wall and then the brick wall to the garage?
Well, it doesn't matter. The property line is inside the brick wall, so the brick wall isn't even on their property in the first place.
Correct.
And it's about 3 feet, they're 2 feet or so behind the brick wall, I think, is where their property line starts.
Yes,
they have a marker in the fence here, that's about here, so it's about 6 feet from here to the garage. So if you think it's probably 8 feet, maybe 9 feet to the wall, and then outside of the wall, that's another, I don't know, probably 10 feet or something, but.
Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't have that.
10, right?
Normally, it's no normal, it's just the right of
Might
way.
be 8 if we're 2 feet over. Anyway, I'm just trying to get a gauge for, it's actually a little.
So if you think about it, if they ever want to come down Prospect, who knows? They're changing Prospect Road down here. But if they ever want to come down Prospect Road and put a center turn lane, that would become road right there. They'd probably have to tear out their wall and all that because that'd be sidewalk. But that area is the right of way, and so it would become, because I don't think there's a very large right of way on the south side at that point of Prospect, right? There's very small setback right of way. And the right of way it's very small there. I think it's only about the size of the sidewalk. So if they ever put a turn lane in, it would have to go that way. So that's the whole reason for having the right of way. No, but that's the whole reason for every street having a right of way is if they improve the street. So.
My guess would be about just over 30 feet off the road.
I mean, I can tell you.
The building
Yes,
would be technically 30 feet off,
yes,
but 6 feet from the property.
correct.
Well, if they want the second variance, they're gonna have to come back.
No, it's true.
What's the address again? From the road to their property line is 22 feet.
22 plus
6.
So you have to be 28 feet to the garage. Correct. Road to the property line, and then plus 6.
Yep, 28, 34. So to their property line, from the curb to their property line is 22 feet.
Right, and then another 6 feet is gonna be to the garage.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, 28, yeah. Sorry.
Math always.
Wasn't my greatest.
And you can't squat it down to 17 because it would be a different pitch. I agree with that. If they ever improve your house, then your landscape is gone, your walls are gone, and that's closer.
Okay, any other discussion of the board? Any other questions?
Not really.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Yep.
They're gonna have to come back
Yep. Yep.
for the height.
That is gonna.
So why don't we
that's
just
gonna
table the whole thing and let us all
happen. I mean,
have a little bit
right
more
now,
time
this is the
to
grand plan.
think about it, maybe they can,
Something.
because I would say right now, it's probably not gonna pass.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too,
I
but
would
it's,
recommend
what
that
else
they
could they?
come back, maybe noodle over it, talk to some people, and come, because they need to come back anyway.
Well, we'll find out, but I think it's not gonna pass, but if they wanna come back with a new design, of course, we can take a look at that design now. But I'm not sure what they're gonna say to get her out of the 6-foot setback, which is what they're asking for now. You know, unless there's something that we can say, here, if you do this, you can still have the 6-foot setback, and I don't see what that is.
That's in front of my house.
You know, if they come back with a new, because they're gonna have to come back anyway for the height. So if they wanna come back with a new design, they can do it then. But if we could get into that situation where they come back with a new design, and still with this one in front, it might not pass them, let's let them at least know what they're heading into now.
So the question is, does they have to come back for the height, anyhow,
Definitely.
This is what I was saying.
do we delay it all, or do we, table the whole thing, or do we go ahead and vote on the one that's in front of us, which is the setback?
Well, I think.
I'm with Mick, though. I think
They
we-
go together.
I think we vote on the setback, and then if there's a new design or whatever, when they come back for the height, then they can talk about it then,
Right.
whether it passes or doesn't.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so this description of the variance needed is a 6-foot versus 25-foot setback from prospect front yard.
Here's a question.
Mhm.
If they come back on the height thing, and we've already voted on this, can this be relooked at, or does it have to have a change to be relooked at?
Well, I mean, certainly we could relook at it, anything they request, as far as the variance, we can relook at it. But if it didn't pass the first time, I doubt the exact thing is gonna pass the second time.
May I ask one thing?
Yep.
I guess I would be curious to see if the variance would pass as is, or kind of be able to understand a little bit more of the concerns, independently of each other. Is the concerns really the height? Is it the setback? That way I can kind of maybe.
Well, to me, I mean, right now, we're talking about the setback, and I think a lot of us have concerns on the setback, that it's just too close to Prospect Road, to the property line in the front, when,
Because of the rules where in the future, you may have, there may be another lane that would be added, and then it becomes the issue, so that's the.
you never, we can't foresee what's gonna happen, and so that's why we have the setback rules in the first place.
And I just say, yeah, there's no overriding reason that you should get a variance for what you want there. There
Yeah,
are certain
and it-
situations where, yes, you.
So the hardship piece of it, you you know, hardship is more than just, hey, we want to put it there, right? So as far as a hardship, there may be other designs that you could put on the property that would work, that would stay within the 25-foot setback versus having the 25-foot setback approved, or the 6-foot setback approved. So that's kind of what we're saying, I think, in
Yeah.
general.
And I think there's all kinds of designs that could accommodate the rules. I think where the differential is what's, you know, architecturally, what can we make it look the best as well? So marrying what you're trying to accomplish and I think what aesthetically what we're trying to accomplish, and the homeowners being car enthusiasts, what they're trying to accomplish in the workshop and what they live and the whole reason why they're doing what they're doing, and us all coming together to work together and say, hey, how do we get this thing work, right? I think is the win that we're all trying to get. And I appreciate the conversation. And so that's why I'm asking what are the drivers of this?
Yeah, I guess I'm saying the driver is, you know, for a variance, there has to be an overarching reason that we would give you the variance. And I don't see having that second garage is an overarching situation. You know, you may be able to find another place on the property, but because, like I said, I'd like another garage on my property too, I just don't have enough room for it. You know, they don't have enough room in front for it to put it there. So, you know, if we find another place for it, fine, but I don't see that.
I mean,
Part
of me, I walked, you know, around the house 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And I know it's not maybe an ideal situation, but for, you know, in some people's mind, but you could extend that garage down the side of the house, I think, and make it a double deep garage. Right next to it, the one that's attached. And no variance at all. And you know, maybe architecturally you say you can't make that work, well, and then I guess you can't make it work, but.
Right. Yeah, we've explored lots of options, and you know we've looked at all the different angles, and we wouldn't be here with this design if we didn't think that this was the best solution.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Will the strict application of and we're talking about the 25-foot to 6-foot setback here. Okay. Will the strict application of the terms of the zoning code related to the use of construction or alteration of buildings or structures or use to the land impose practical difficulties or particular hardship upon the petitioner? JT Kellogg?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
No.
Rick Pitzel? No. Charlie Calloway?
No.
Steve Cady?
No.
Mike Wu?
No.
And Tanisha Casey?
No.
Okay, so recommendations, do I go through all the rest of them?
I would, for a complete record.
Okay. If the variation is granted, the property affected by the variation will remain in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning code. JT Kellogg?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
No.
Rick Pitzel? No. Charlie Calloway?
No.
Steve Cady?
No.
Mike Wu?
No.
Tanisha Casey?
No.
The approval of the variation will not merely serve as a convenience to the petitioner, but is necessary to alleviate some demonstrable hardship on the petitioner. JT Kellogg?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
No.
Rick Pitzel, no. Charlie Calloway?
No.
Steve Cady?
No.
Mike Wu?
No.
Tanisha Casey?
No.
Can the variation requested by the petitioner be granted without substantial detriment to the public good? JT Kellogg?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
No.
Rick Pitzel? No. Charlie Calloway?
No.
Steve Cady?
No.
Mike Wu?
No.
And Tanisha Casey? Can the proposed variation be approved without impairing the general purpose and intent of the comprehensive plan as implemented by the zoning code? JT Kellogg? Jack Wiedemann?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
No.
Rick Bitzel? No. Charlie Calloway? Steve Cady?
No.
Mike Wu?
No.
Tanisha Casey? It's not a fence. Okay. Okay, so then we don't have to have a motion though, right? Or should we?
Might as well,
Okay,
based upon that.
okay. So then a motion to deny the request is needed with a second.
I'll move.
Second?
Mick O'Neill, and second by, somebody else say second? Mike Wu. Call the roll. JT Kellogg?
What's the question?
This is, we're voting on the amendment, or on the motion now.
Are we voting
We're voting.
Voting on the motion to deny.
to deny? So a yes would be deny.
Yes.
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Calloway? Steve Cady?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Tanisha Casey? Okay. So if you want to, reapproach with a different plan, and if you needed to request a variance for a higher garage, you can certainly do that. So that's,
Can I ask a question before they leave? Is there, I don't know how, the design is the design, I don't know if there's a variance that we would accept. So I guess we'd have to see what that would be.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to make the decision because we have one issue that has its own issue, and then we have another issue that we know is there that we're not even approaching yet, so, which is part of the reason why we're saying we need to reapproach this.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other designs that could be done. I mean, you said you went through lots of different designs, so I would assume there's something that you could do to get the size garage you want on that property. I mean, I think that there's a couple that have been brought up tonight that might work, so.
It's unfortunate, I think this is.
Okay, the next order of business is a variance application filed by Atelier PC seeking a variance under section 1011-2B to permit the construction of a parking lot along Prospect Road. Under section 10A-2B and 2, a variance to reduce the required storefront glazed surface coverage requirement from the current requirement of 75% under section 1011A-2E. Both requests pertaining to the property located at 4425 North Prospect Road, Peoria Heights, which is currently designated as part of the overlay district. So who do we have in front of us? And state your names and kind of tell us what you're trying to do.
Brandon Dean, one of the developers of the building. What, Blake?
Blake Knapp, architect with Atelier.
Okay?
So we'll kind of bounce here answering questions, but depending
Okay.
on the questions you have.
So you're going to, can you give us just kind of an overview, these folks, just an overview of the project, what you plan to do with the property and what you're trying to accomplish, and then talk about the parking lot like I've talked to you about that in some other meetings, so.
So the building that's there now would be torn down and new building put up. The first one is the parking lot issue, having parking in the front of the building, at least one row of parking in the front of the building. And then and the glass, the other part was the 75% glass on the front. We can't meet the 75% glass because of stairwells on the sides of the building and structural for the front of the building. And Blake here is the architect, he can answer all the structural questions.
Okay, so the main crux of this is in the overlay district, the parking requirement is that the parking all be in the rear of the building. So they're asking for a variance for that one double lane of parking on the Prospect side. Pretty similar to what Save-A-Lot has today, right? I mean, it'd be,
Yeah, that's correct. So right now, the Save-A-Lot building is 65 feet from the east property line from Prospect Road. Our building is 66.6, so we're a foot and a half farther back than the Save-A-Lot building is. So, and as far as the parking in the front of the building goes, as the developers meet with potential tenants for that first floor retail space and restaurants, that's something that those tenants are requesting, that they have parking for their customers in front of the building. So that's what's driving that.
I can't find it, I'm looking at the existing building.
Anybody else?
So what tenants are you having that are gonna be in front that are requesting parking there?
You have restaurants and retail on ground level.
So the building would be a 3-story, right? 3-story dual use.
3-story, dual use. Main
First
floor,
will be
main floor,
retail,
retail restaurants, office space, or it could be residential on the second floor, third floor office space.
You said this is gonna be 66 feet from Prospect?
So 66 feet, 6 inches from the Prospect Road property line to the face of the building. The existing Save-A-Lot building is 65 feet, so we're almost in the same spot as the existing building.
Page 2, the best one to look at.
For an overall view, yes, of the new building.
And then the second part of the variance is, so the second part of the variance is the frontage, according to the overlay district of a new building, or buildings, needs to be 75% glass. So I don't know if you want to just explain why, the 75% issue is an issue for what you're doing and why it's an issue?
Yeah. So the code requires that the first floor of the facade that faces Prospect Avenue be 75%. Oh, sorry. The code requires that the first floor of the facade that faces Prospect Avenue be 75% glass. To make this project viable, we need to use wood framing. We tried to evaluate using steel framing, and it just got astronomically expensive. So for wood framing, typically your ratio from a structural perspective for shear walls, your ratio is typically 2-to-1. So the amount of glass is 1, and the ratio of solid shear wall surface is 2. So what we've done is we've pushed as much glass into the first floor as we can, but trying to keep that 2-to-1 ratio. So yeah, working with the structural engineer, the amount of glass shown is the maximum amount of glass that we can provide while still meeting the structural requirements. So it's written down there in red on each of the facades. So that east facade that faces Prospect Avenue is 32, I think it's 32%, a little over 32%.
We voted on this on that boutique hotel on Prospect. Same issue. issue.
So if you look at the second to last page, you get the complete, like, frontage view of the building and the rear view, side views. So because it's on a corner, if you followed strictly by the zoning code, because they're on 3 streets basically, the sides, the ends would also have to be 75% glass, which they're not. And then the front, if you look at the retail space, outlines that, if that's, 32%, you're pretty much saying every space in between each one of those retail spaces has to be window. I mean, most of it.
And I'm not sure about the 2 to 1, but as a structural engineer, I'm gonna say if you're doing this out of wood, yes, you have to have shear walls there.
Yep.
You need a lot of shear wall space, so the 75% is a non-starter if you're doing a wood.
Yep.
And on the sides, in the middle of the side views, the black is the stairwells coming from 3rd floor, 2nd floor down. So just because of the pure size of the building, we have to have the stairwells on each end.
Right.
And if you look, I think if you look at the front of the building with the amount of window space on the first floor, it still looks like a lot of glass. It could be more, obviously, but I mean, for a building, to me, it looks.
Right. I agree with you. I think for me, once again, knowing it's a wood building, it looks like you've got plenty of glass in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through quite a few different design iterations, but one of our goals was, even though this building is a full block long, we tried to really take into consideration the scale of the neighborhood and tried to make sure that this building, that the facade was broken down into a smaller scale, and that it didn't really even though the building is the full length of the block, we tried to break that scale down to more of a human scale, so it doesn't feel overwhelming as people walk past the building and the sidewalk. So I think breaking down that scale helps that glass feel larger than what it actually is.
Are the only entrances and exits to the parking lot, kind of like behind the building on the sides?
Yes, in the back of the building on each side.
Rick, can I ask you a question on how this would be handled if we were to turn down the request for the variance, and make them, come up to the front parking lot? Could they take that to?
You wouldn't get a new building. You wouldn't get a new building.
Could they take that to the village?
Well, so this is as a site plan is going to the village.
Correct.
Anyhow. And it will show the two, the parking in front or not parking in front.
Right.
But the variance, any variance can be, you can, what's it called? Help me there, Mr. Attorney. They can take it to the village board after we deny or approve one. As a variance, they can, I can't think of the word. What is the word when you
Appeal.
appeal?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
They can appeal the decision to the village board. They could.
Because I might as well get this out of the way. Look at this, and there's a plan that they've got, for the commercial district, on Prospect, and they want everything to come up to the property line. There's a reason that the people that have been elected and that the city plan, the village plan is saying to do that. Once again, there's some.
I don't think we
reason
have
for
that
them to
set
put
in
that
stone
back.
yet, though.
But the way I look at this, I don't think I'm in that position to say we are gonna go against the village plan, especially because the whole thing about you want parking in front, they've kind of said that as a reason, it's kind of the anti-strip mall rule. We don't want park in front with strip mall sit back. Well, this is kind of the same thing, you know, so if they want to overrule the rule, or overrule the code on this, I think that should go to the elected officials.
So they will approve the site plan, and the site plan would have parking shown in front or parking not shown in front, and they would approve or deny that, for sure. Because that was just a recommendation of a site plan to
Okay,
them.
but for the variance, if I'm
Right.
against that,
Right.
then that
If-
still has to go to the village, and
The
they,
variance would have to be, they would have to purposely take the variance and say, we want to appeal the zoning
Okay.
board's decision.
and
Can you guys just do one, instead of like two angles, can you just do one? To move it a little bit closer, to kind of like split the difference? I mean, I understand, I
If
understand.
we did that, we would lose technically, we'd be losing a row of parking on the whole site.
No, but you would put it,
You
just move
can't,
the whole building forward.
well, I get it, but you'd still lose one in the back because it's double laned in the back right now. So if you cut one off the front, you can't just add one in the back.
You're gonna need to add another lane.
There's not enough space. Does that make sense what I'm saying? We're already,
No, I understand.
yeah.
I mean, the hard part for me is, I wasn't around, but you look across the street, there's a whole parking lot in the front now, in front of Trusker's. And I'm with Mick, like, I wanna see it like right on the street, which is what the code is, and then we're gonna do the parking on, Prospect, which is the master plan.
And obviously Trusker's was a different situation, with the building was already in the back. There were all sorts of plans for what's gonna go in front of that, and that all fell apart. Trusker's needed more parking, there's a lot of things that went into that, and they bought, Busted Brewery, so their parking is next to their business.
Yeah, I mean, right, when we did the whole overlay district, I guess in some ways, it'd be great if everything was right up on the street and you could walk down, but to me, I also understand a retail business and you have no parking in front of your business, right? And, okay, so once they do Prospect, they'd have 5 spaces or who knows what it's gonna be, if it's gonna be parallel parking or diagonal parking or what it's gonna be down, when we get down that far, and how much space they have with sidewalks and such. So, okay, you get 1 row of parking in front of your business someday, right? And that might be 8 years from now, 10 years from now.
That's not any
Hey,
different than any
Rick, can I
No,
interrupt you for
but
one
what I'm saying is then, for them to have this space and to put the parking in front, are you really going to go to, some people say yes, but some people would say no. Are you gonna go to the business and park in the back, and walk all the way around the building to get to, a store? It's different. I think it's different when you look at true city parking. People do that all the time, but people in Peoria don't do that.
Can I?
Unfortunately, I just don't think they do that.
Now, in the master plan, if that was ever to come to fruition, okay, if it was ever, with the budget, we had offered, going back to the 1 row that JT brought up, the row that is closest to Prospect would technically be removed later in life if Prospect Road expansion ever went on, and that parking would actually become on the street, that row of parking.
So they would end up, because the parking would move back some, they'd take the parking that's on the street and they'd change that row into like a sidewalk, I think is what.
Correct. but there's not enough planning for us to show you that on the village side, for us to show it to you now.
I'm just going along with, one of the questions there, the village plan
Yep,
shows everything coming up to the property line.
I understand what you're saying.
I would have to answer no to that one. And if this could go to the elected officials, that's their job to overrule this.
I get what you're saying, but I also get that, we overrule different things all the time, so.
Yeah, I think this is a little bigger.
Yeah, we have leases in place now for how it's drawn now. If those tenants honestly don't get what they're asking for, yeah, the lease, and these tenants are asking for parking in the front so that their customers can walk in to the front door.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, but like I said, as I understand, the whole reason that we've got, our rule that the businesses are gonna be up to the property line was we don't really wanna have parking in front and the strip mall type of a look where you can move things farther back. And if all we're saying is, well, the people have decided they don't wanna sit farther, or they don't wanna be up on the property line, they wanna sit farther back, well, there goes the rule. There's no reason to put that in place. And once again, I would have nothing against it if the elected officials overrule it, but the way I see it, we have to follow what the guidelines are telling us. My opinion.
Okay, so we have,
Is this all street level, or is this raised?
The parking,
Yeah,
street level, besides
everything's street level. Is it
the top of the curb level, does that make sense?
so I mean, it'll be, basically the new building will be the same height as Save-A-Lot, I mean.
Yeah, it's flat. You got the street level, then top of the curb level, so we're at the top of the curb level.
So any other questions, comments, discussion?
Can I make my vote contingent on that rule, that if we do ever do change prospect, they're gonna give, like, it's subject to them giving up that front row?
Well, we could make the motion that.
Say that again, JT?
Well, I'm going back to what Brandon said, where if in fact the master plan ever comes to fruition and they do change prospect and widen and angle park, they were gonna give up this front row after the fact and convert it to like street parking. Am I right?
Yeah, we offered that.
Yeah.
We offered to give the city an easement,
Yeah.
the village, right off the bat. That way, if it ever happened, even after, if I ever sold the building, it's still there for the village to use. And that would go into our development agreement with the village.
So, I mean, yes, you could make that a condition of the motion.
Can I ask another silly question? But like, if you look at the, is Dave Williams gonna build a building where he dug up part of the swamp? Part of the,
Don't
No
know.
one knows anything.
okay, but then, like, nobody's gonna knock CVS down and bring it up. And Heights Flowers, I don't see them going anywhere and bringing it up, like, I know we did the overlay, but to me, this almost seems like a unicorn that we have the opportunity to force somebody to come up, because you got, you know, like the old shops where Pabst is and stuff, but then CVS is, can get further into something, you know, and then Heights Flowers isn't going anywhere, so
Well,
I'm arguing against myself, but.
JT, I mean, that was mentioned back when I was on planning. You know, this high desire of sidewalks and trees up and down Prospect. I said, okay, first of all, you're lucky with the 3 or 4 blocks that you do have the sidewalks, you do have the trees. They've been there anyway. And I said, where does it stop? Does it stop at War Memorial one of these days?
Right.
Or Lake Street or whatever, you know? I mean, that was discussed, I remember having discussions on that particular thing 10 years ago when I was on planning. So, I mean, and I think he played it smart anyway. You made the offer to the village because my feeling is they're headstrong, they're gonna get it one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, we hope the village does get the road redone. As of right now, we're already redoing the curbs for the village on something that could be torn out later. And I'm the one paying for it all. So, you know, I think the best we can offer is to the village in our development agreement is that variance that if the road expansion ever happened, the village can have the land to flip the parking to the street side versus our parking lot side.
But Nick, I still see your point too, and that was discussed way back in planning too. You know, where that stuff gets bumped up. We like the 3 blocks where all the storefronts is the sidewalk away.
Right, and I understand that's what.
And I fully understand that, and my feeling again is you're awful lucky that you accidentally have that. And I remember as fire chief telling him, you know, you could be like many small towns and have a fire in one building, go into another building, and half your downtown would be gone, and then things would change. So, I mean, you're by luck.
Yep.
But I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and I'm just going, you know, that's what our zoning ordinance calls for.
Yep, absolutely, but.
And once again, the reasoning for that is they don't want people putting buildings farther back, and the reason people would put buildings farther back is they want parking in front. You know, you're just requesting the thing that our zoning ordinance was made to refuse. And so, like I said, I think that should be up to the elected officials if they want to overrule that, because they're the ones that have to answer to the public.
Okay. Does somebody have a variance sheet that they could pass my way? I'm gonna need 2 of them.
No,
Is there one in there?
you got one? Okay, well, that's fine.
Is there one in your packet? Is there none in your packet?
I never have one in mind.
Huh? No, that's it. Okay.
They're gonna need to start over there.
I can't, we had extra ones of those and I can't find them. Everything like, all my papers have disappeared up here. I put one in everybody's packet. Do you guys?
You want mine?
I didn't have one. I didn't see one. Just towards the back. No.
Rick, will you start
No,
over there?
because,
Yeah.
that was underneath mine and it's
Sure, I
actually
will.
the note from last
You
year
sit
before
there,
you.
you're the one that sat there, JT.
Am I?
This is driving
I
me
gotta tell you a funny
crazy.
story. I was curling on
Well,
Saturday,
you're probably
like
gonna be
the
really.
Olympics, and got this thing and I wasn't paying attention,
Oh,
and somebody called
okay.
my name.
I'll just reuse the other ones.
And I.
Right off to the side, I guess.
Read off the other ones and we can just keep.
That's what I said. I'll write on this side.
sense in it.
Okay.
That's not okay.
Let them take it.
Okay, I'm going to do the,
I know, well, I trust it. So does make those too. Those too, and then when they mentioned the height on the garage, let's see,
the storefront glazed first. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so we have two variances, and we're gonna start with the storefront glazed windows being less than 75%.
Is that gonna be the
Okay.
first one?
That's gonna be the first one?
Okay, on the glass. Okay.
Everybody good on that one? Okay. Everybody know what we're voting on, talking about? Okay, will the strict application of the terms of the zoning code related to the use and construction or alteration of
Fire pager.
buildings or structures or to the use of land impose practical difficulties or particular hardship upon the petitioner? Tanisha? Mike Wu?
No.
Steve Katie?
No.
Charlie Calloway? Going backwards here. Terms of the zoning code. Okay, we know, this is the glazed windows, right? Okay. So will the strict application of the terms of the zoning code related to the use, construction, or alteration of buildings or structures or the use of land pose practical difficulties or particular hardship upon the petitioner? Tanisha? Okay.
No.
No.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 3. Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Okay. If the variation is granted, the property affected by the variation will remain in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning code. Tanisha? Kaysen? I didn't hear you. Yes, okay. Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel? Yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
Yes.
And JT Kellogg?
Mine's subject to the road being done then.
Well, we can
This
put that
is the
as,
glass.
this is the
This
glass.
is the glass.
Oh, I thought we were on the,
No, this is
The
glass.
glass.
I thought we just voted on the glass.
No, this is the whole thing has to be glass, and then we do the whole thing for.
Sorry, yes, yes.
Okay. The approval of the variation will not merely serve as a convenience to the petitioner, but is necessary to alleviate some demonstrable hardship on the petitioner. Tanisha Kaysen? Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway? Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Can the variation requested by the petitioner be granted without substantial detriment to the public good? Tanisha Kaysen? Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
Yes.
And JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Can the proposed variation be approved without impairing the general purpose and intent of the comprehensive plan as implemented by the zoning code? Tanisha Kaysen? Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
Yes.
And JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then a motion to approve the request for less than 75% glass front.
Motion.
Second.
Mike Wu motioned and Mick O'Neill seconded. And no conditions? Okay, call the roll. JT Kellogg?
Present,
No, we're voting on the motion.
yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Calloway? Steve Katie?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Tanisha Kason? Okay. Number one down. This one is for parking. Okay, this is the parking requirement. Will the strict application of the terms of the zoning code related to the use or construction or alteration of the buildings or structures to the use of land impose practical difficulties or particular hardship upon the petitioner? Tanisha Kason? No. Mike Wu?
No.
Steve Katie?
No.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
What's the score?
4 to 3. 3 to 4. 3 yeses.
Can I add it with the motion that I talked about earlier?
Well, when you make the motion, you can make that a condition.
During the motion.
During the motion, you can make that a condition.
Yeah, this is finding of facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, then you can't. Because, no, we won't need
Yeah.
a motion. If the variation is granted, the property affected by the variation will remain in harmony with general purpose and intent of the zoning code. Tanisha Kason? Yes. Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway? Yes. Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
No.
The approval of the variation will not merely serve as a convenience to the petitioner, but is necessary to alleviate some demonstrable hardship on the petitioner. Tanisha Kason? Mike Wu?
No.
Steve Katie?
No.
Charlie Calloway?
No.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
No.
Can the variation requested by the petitioner be granted without substantial detriment to the public good? Tanisha Kason?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
Yes.
Can the proposed variation be approved without impairing the general purpose and intent of the comprehensive plan as implemented by the zoning code? Tanisha Kason?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Charlie Calloway?
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Mick O'Neill?
No.
Jack Wiedemann?
Yes.
JT Kellogg?
No.
Okay. So then so we need a motion to deny because we cannot approve it with some of those being no. So,
Is it just one that?
no, there's 3, or 1, 2, it's 2.
That have more no's.
Yep. So, a motion to deny the variance.
I'll move.
Mick, second.
Second.
JT? Kellogg? Okay, so, okay, I'll call the roll. JT Keller?
Uh,
Any other discussion on that?
And this
Okay.
is to deny, so a yes
To
to
deny.
deny.
Yes is to deny.
Yes.
Jack Weedman?
No.
Mick O'Neill?
Yes.
Rick Bitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway?
Yes.
Steve Katie?
Yes.
Mike Wu?
Yes.
And Tanisha Kason? Okay. So, we'll go through the site plan. The establishment, maintenance, or operation of the site plan will not be detrimental or endanger public health, safety, morals, or comforts of general
Can I
welfare.
ask a question? So
Yep.
this is the site plan that still has the variance, correct? This is the site plan where they are
As
24
shown.
feet back, as shown,
As shown.
yes. So, since we just turned down
Right,
the variance,
but we have to vote on the site
still have to
plan.
vote the site plan, just
Yeah.
clarifying.
Yep. So the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special use or site plan will not be detrimental or endanger public health, safety, morals, or comforts of general welfare. The establishment or maintenance of the operation of the site plan will not be detrimental, so.
I'm thinking that's a yes,
Okay.
it's not, there's nothing, no one's getting hurt.
Okay. JT Keller,
Yes.
Jack Weedman,
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
Tanisha Casey. The special use or site plan will not be injurious to the uses and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, nor substantially diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood to which it is to be located. JT Kellogg.
Yes.
Jack Weedman.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
And Tanisha Kason. The establishment or the site plan will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted. The establishment of the site plan will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. JT Kellogg.
No.
Jack Weedman.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. Adequate facilities, access roads, drainage, and/or necessary facilities have been or will be provided. JT Kellogg.
Yes.
Jack Weedman.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. Adequate measures have been adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress designed to minimize traffic congestion of the public streets. JT Kellogg.
Yes.
Jack Weedman.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie? Yes. Mike Wu? Yes. Tanisha Kason? If a public use, is it an A? And then the special use or site plan shall in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations in the district in which it is located, except regulations that may in each instance be modified pursuant to recommendation by the Zoning Board of Appeals. J.T. Kellogg. This is your, the the site plan in all other respects conform to the applicable regulations in the district in which it is located.
No.
Jack Wiedemann.
Yes.
Mick O'Neill.
No.
Rick Pitzel, yes. Charlie Kellaway.
No.
Steve Katie.
No.
Mike Wu.
No.
And Tanisha Kason. No. Okay. So then a motion to deny the site plan. Motion?
I'll do it.
Mick?
Second.
Are you? Motion by Mick O'Neill and seconded by Mike Wu. J.T. Kellogg.
Yes.
Jack Wiedemann.
No.
Mick O'Neill.
Yes.
Rick Pitzel, no. Charlie Kellaway.
Yes.
Steve Katie.
Yes.
Mike Wu.
Yes.
Tanisha Kason. Okay. Well, so you're going to have to take both of these up with the village board. So you're going to have to, the site plan will go to the village board, and then there's an appeal process in the zoning code. So, yep. So we can get you what you need to do for the appeal process for the parking. And then that will be heard by the village board also. But the site plan is going to be heard by the village board anyhow, so. So they can probably do that all at the same time. I think I have your email address in some stream somewhere, and I will pull out the part of the code that explains what you have to do, and we'll get that started. Okay, thank you. And a motion to adjourn.
I'll take that one.
Mick, second by J.T. Kellogg. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mick, I did.
J.T.
Nick, you're emotional and everything tonight, man. You're on fire.
Gotta keep things moving.
What should we do with all those table ones?